Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Epic ArmA. Like I said before, I'm doing this separate playlist, this separate series of Epic ArmA where I do epic battles and epic scenarios with a lot of units, not only for Arma 3 but also for Armed Assault, maybe Operation Flashpoint, and Arma 2. And we have Arma 2 here, and I wanted to do a big tank battle, and actually somebody also suggested that as a scenario. So if you guys still have epic scenarios or suggestions for epic battles, please let me know, because I am watching those comments, and I will see if I can realize those situations. So what do you have here? We have the Chernassus map. We have in total 16 groups of tanks. And one group consists of 25 tanks, which means that in total there are 400 tanks in the game. I am one of the groups, so actually a little bit more than 400. Every tank has 3 AI units. A commander, a gunner, and a... you know what? Let's actually just start the game, then I can actually explain while you can watch this madness. So every tank has a crew of 3 AI. A commander, a gunner, and a driver. I'm the driver in this case, and this means that there are 1,200 AI working simultaneously in a game. This is a lot more than I can create in, for example, Arma 3, where I think if I spread the AI out with only talking about infantry, I would be able to get about... Hold on, let me put the sound a little bit down.
Cannot fire.
Yeah, your mother cannot fire. If I spread the infantry out in Arma 3, I could probably get about 400. And as you can see, I'm able to have a lot more in the same battle with Arma 2. It doesn't actually matter if I put down the stuff even further, the graphic settings. I try that by putting the textures on low, details like foliage and stuff, put that on low, shadows off, but it didn't help. So this is where you have to deal with it. I have, for the people who watch my Arma 2 campaign with Spartacus, they know that I actually use mods, which, for example, have some more particle effects, better special effects, better AI. I had to delete that in this case because the particle effect increase also increased, for example, the dust that comes up when a vehicle is driving around. And it was so much, there was so much dust in that mod that it created just a wall of smoke, and you could not see any of the tanks in there. I mean, it's pretty difficult to see all the tanks in the distance over there, but it was even worse with the mod installed. Now, the mod also had an AI mod, which basically increased the line of sight of the units. Where I think in the vanilla game, units could see like 500 meters in front of them. This increased it to 1,000 or maybe even 1,500 meters. So it meant that in the beginning, the battle with the tanks were actually a lot earlier. And you may have seen in the map that the group of tanks for the Russians is actually a lot bigger than the US side. The reason why is because the AI on regular is basically has the AI skills of your teammates a little bit higher than that of the opponents, which means that they react faster, their accuracy is a little bit better, which meant that when I tested this out, we just completely obliterated the Russians. And I wanted to kind of have, you know, an even battle where also some of us were being destroyed. I'm not necessarily going to play this as to win. I mean, I can only drive, I cannot actually fire. But it's just to show the chaos when the battle happens, you know, all the explosions, the fire, pretty much all the death. And what I'm also going to do after this battle, because I think a lot of you might also want to see that, is put the teams right at each other, so that they actually don't have to move, they will all just fire, which is pretty chaotic. However, when I do that, I do have to warn you, the frame rate will drop enormous. It will be pretty painful to watch, but still it will be chaos and a sight to be seen nonetheless.
Where are you? I'm in Gray Area 30.
So if we look at the map, we are right in the middle. Some of our tanks are already over there.
Is your location? I'm in Gray Area.
There we have the first explosion. And I said before that every tank has 3 crew members, 3 AIs, and these are actually real time in there. They do count as AI or infantry that it's spawned in. It's not like that the game doesn't render the AI that are in there. They actually do. And if a tank gets blown up or is like critically damaged, the crew can get out, and then you will indeed see crew members running around the battlefield. So that indeed shows also that the AI is indeed present.
Target at me at 07. Target at me at 07.
So the commander gave an order. Let's see if the gunner will fire. You can see a lot of ceasefire. You're firing on friendlies with these many units. You know, there's a big chance that friendly units will be targeted. There you can see all the muzzle flashes of people firing. Some of the tanks were destroyed. And as you can see, the smoke pile of the Russians is a lot bigger. And that again shows the difference in AI skills. I mean, the US team, I gave 6 groups. Which means 150 tanks, if I'm not mistaken. So it means that the Russians have 350. No, wait, what? 250, I guess. So they have a lot more. They have 100 more, but still, there's a big chance that we will win that battle. I set all the AI on engaged will. The only difference is that with AI differences, it will take them a long time to actually engage. And see that wall of just smoke and dust.
Where are you? I'm in Gray Room 4075.
Imagine playing this in multiplayer. I mean, better than World of Tanks? Less than World of Tanks? I don't know.
Hostile down.
Let's get a bit in there. Some of my group is actually pretty far in there.
Where are you? I'm in Gray Room 4075.
Here you can see the damage that is done to the Russian army.
Area clear. 03877. Man. 0380.
And like I said, there might be some crew members running around if they could get out in time. There we have an active Russian tank, as you can see. There are 2 firing, desperately trying to get away.
Contact. Engage that.
And we
Contact.
Be 50 meters to the northeast.
Contact.
they're not really firing at me. Maybe it's like in that scene from Band of Brothers where Lieutenant Spears goes behind enemy lines and the Germans cannot believe that it's actually an American soldier running through their lines. Maybe it's the same here. Maybe it's like, what the fuck? Is that an American tank? I mean, look at this shit. Look, this is some oil field stuff that you can. Some burning oil fields. The images that are pretty well known from CNN and stuff. And you can see how little damage they could actually do to ours. And I thought at first that it might be like a distance difference, the distance that the units could fire in, but I don't think so, because they could hit the tanks all the way over there. This is some pure madness. Pure madness. And I love it.
13.
A reason why I chose ArmA 2 for the tank battle is because ArmA 3 doesn't have... Oh, we are damaged though. Getting out. It's because ArmA 3 doesn't have armor yet. Or, no, that's not true. They don't have tanks yet. They have APCs. In fact, there was a patch not too long ago that added 2 new APCs, one on each side, if I'm not mistaken. So I might do something with that, because the physics system obviously allows for some interesting battles over there. But I'm not able to place 400 APCs there. If I spread them out to teams, I might be able to do like 80, like 40 versus 40 or something, but with new, like, you know, new effects added in ArmA 3 and physics, that might also be very fun to watch. But in terms of units, I might be able to be better off with ArmA 2, Armed Assault. The weird thing about Armed Assault is that you would think that I would be able to actually place more units there because it's an older game. But I don't think that the game is that well optimized to actually support a huge amount of units. Because I noticed that when I went close to like 600 or 700 units, the game would be almost unplayable. Though I actually, the default might have been mine where I placed the units too close to each other. So if I spread them out, I might be able to do more. But it could be that ArmA 2 was just more optimized for that, because I remember that in an interview with the creators of ArmA 2, they said that it could have over 2,000 AI at the same time. And there is actually a video on YouTube of a guy who has like over 2,500 AI. His PC crashes though. But it is possible to put that many AI in the game. I know that my PC could not handle that though. 2,500 is just a little bit too much. I should maybe try indeed spreading out over the whole island, see what happens. But yeah. Also, another tip that I have for people who have trouble placing a lot of units, if your concern is only units and not necessarily the environment you fight in, of course on the map, you have this area here that is absolutely nothing, and there's no foliage, no trees, which means that if you put units there, it doesn't have to render all that stuff, and you could actually win some frames on that. But the environment will look very shitty. But like I said, if your only concern is create a lot of units, create a big battle, then that might be something you would like. You can see that a lot of the wrecks actually now have stopped burning, though there's still a huge smoke screen. Of course, also a scenario that would be pretty cool is, of course, a big jet battle, a helicopter battle. I was actually doing busy with making a epic helicopter battle with ArmA 3, and then it gave me a good idea, but unfortunately I couldn't really do it because I did the battle overseas, so that I didn't have to render the whole island. And during the battle, of course, a lot of helicopter wrecks fell into the sea. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea to become a diver and to swim underneath the battlefield and just see all these wrecks fall into the water. But because the helicopters and stuff are so fast, they spread out really fast, which means that though the wrecks are indeed falling into the water, they are like tens of meters away from each other, and the visibility in the water is of course not very far, so that didn't work out very well. That didn't work out as I wanted it to. You could, of course, also have this with actually infantry squads in it, other armored vehicles, jeeps, planes, and I'm dead. That took its sweet time. And alright, guys, now, as I said, the moment suprême, which actually might not be as supreme because, like I said, I'm probably going to have horrendous frame rate, but I'm going to place this group over here, and I'm going to place us over here. I might die in an absolute instance. I don't know. You want to put them on a flat surface, which I think this is about as flat. Yeah, this is all like farmland, so we should be good. Alright, guys, let's see how it goes. It's probably going to be a long receiving one.
Target at 06.
Target at
Target at 06.
3. Target tank.
No target. Target at 06. Target at 06.
Well, as you can see, the chaos is on. I actually don't need to move. They're moving very limited. Oh god, that one is trying to hump the other one. I'm getting only 4 frames. This is horrible. But you can see the chaos that is happening. And I'm already damaged. I need to get the fuck out of here. My thing is gonna blow up. I'm deaf. And as you can see, they actually are now doing also a lot of damage to me. A difference in the other battle might have been that they actually need to ride out to us, and they need to get over a hill, which means that not all of the Russian tanks go over the hill at the same time, which means that the Americans can pick them off one by one, and since they have better accuracy, they will most of the time win the battle. Look at that. Do I have binoculars? No. Look at that. A wall of fire, baby. Wall of fire. And we have it too here. And of course, this kind of a scenario, this tank battles, and I'm also telling you this for kind of for maybe inspiration for some people to give me also on some scenarios, is you can put the same scenario, so the same vehicle battle, but in a different situation. So this is on an open field, but you can put it in a mountainous field, or you can put it in a forest. You know, I mean, tanks can deforest the whole area. So what happens if this amount of units will fight in a forest area? What happens if this amount of units will fight in a city area? I mean, that changes the whole feel of the battle, because even though you have a lot of units, the streets are pretty narrow, so you wouldn't fit a lot of tanks in that. So, though the battle would be epic, it is on a smaller scale, kinda. You can have that with infantry as well. Battle in the city, battle in the forest. Another scenario I like to make is, it was pretty difficult, is to, like, be in a city, don't have any weapons, you can actually spawn in as an unarmed soldier, and just have a lot of helicopters. Enemy helicopters come in and spawn in, and they will get over to the city where you're at, and you have to your objective is to escape the city without getting blown up. And it is actually cooler than it sounds. It's actually pretty exciting and pretty difficult too. But yeah, guys, I don't actually think they will actually shoot me Tanks in the vanilla AI are actually not programmed to shoot at infantry units. So this is gonna be it. I hope you guys liked it. Like I said, if you have any suggestions or any requests on some epic battles or epic scenarios that I can make, then please tell me, because I'm always excited. I'm sorry I take a little bit long for these battles to or these videos to come out, but it is a lot of fine-tuning and tweaking with the terms of how many units to spawn in, where, with the frames and stuff. So yeah, but I hope I will be a little quicker with the next video. So thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.